Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. If this is your first visit to our channel, we want to express to you a very warm welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. As we promised last weekend when we showed you how to start working on a closet to make it an office, today we're going to show you in detail how to put a new receptacle into a wall in your apartment or house where there was none. And here in our closet we installed two, and as you see they look like they were always there, right? You don't see any damage to the wall, and the one below is the same way. There are a couple of small tools that you will need with that. You will need a flat head screwdriver, and you will need to have some way to test that the circuit is off before you start working. Not this circuit. You're going to take the power from the other side of the wall, right? You're going to go to the wall you want to put your receptacle and go on the other side, on the other room, find where a receptacle is, and that's the easiest way to do it, right?
Right.
Now we show you, and we're going to show you how we use equipment to do that. But if you don't have equipment, you can use a simple lamp with a switch and turn the lamp on, and if you have the correct circuit breaker off, the lamp will be off, right?
Right.
So you don't have to spend a lot of money, but if you have some equipment, this is the time to use it.
Right. So the idea is it either has power or it doesn't.
Right.
And in order to do any work on it, you need to ensure that it does not have power.
Right. 120 volt, 15 amp circuits will kill you. This is not something to play with, right?
Right.
So I'm not saying that to just scare you, but you need to be respectful of it. That is a lot of power.
Right. And in our case, this particular wall in the back of the closet backs to our dining room. So there is a receptacle on the other side, which we will use to bring to this side of the wall.
Right, that's where we're going to tap into the power.
Yep.
And the goal is, and as you can see here, we achieved this goal. The goal is that you do not see any damage to the wall. There is no any sign that these receptacles were not there when we bought the house.
Yep.
And that's what you want to achieve, right?
Right.
This is the receptacle we're going to take power from to go to our new office, right?
And it's on the opposite side of the closet.
Right, we're on that other room.
Right.
We have a circuit detector, which is a dual device, or two devices, right? This part plugs into your receptacle, and this part goes to your fuse box and sees which fuse box this receptacle is plugged in.
Okay.
So I'm going to start by plugging this in.
Okay.
And the red light there tells us that this is powered.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to our fuse box, and we are going to see if we can find the circuit. All right, and here we are in our fuse box, and some of you might remember who made this cover, because this area was very, very ugly when we first bought the house. So we made this cover, which is magnetic. And now we can access our fuses. All right. All right, here we go.
That's weird.
What? That was the learning process, right? And there is our circuit. As you can see, it only lights there.
Right. Yeah.
This one, right?
Okay. Yep.
So we start by removing the face plate that gives us access to the box. And we're going to look into the box now and see where it might be a good place to exit the cable. So the next step will be to remove those two screws so we can pull the receptacle out.
And we have turned off the breaker.
Yeah, well, that's what we were doing with the breaker test, right?
Yeah, well, we discovered which one, and now I just want to inform our viewers that we have turned it off.
Some people do this with the power on. Unless you're extremely comfortable, I wouldn't recommend this. Most boxes these days have cutouts, but this old box did not. That is why we had to drill. Normally, you do not have to do this.
So we're looking for where the the bit has come through the wall, and it's very tiny, so it only came through a tiny bit, but that's okay because we wanted to make sure that we knew about where the box was so that we can make a hole on this side of the wall. And it's good that it didn't come all the way through, but at least we know the general location of where it is.
We need to stay within the cavity, which is 16 inches center, and Mrs. Wizard will make an outline of our box inside out when we cut it.
Right.
Okay, good.
Reiterate.
Yes.
I'm gonna go inside like
Yeah.
so,
Not that much, just inside there
but then on the bottom I'm gonna go like
on
here
that top. Yeah,
and here
right.
and across like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Wizard very gently is touching the cutout to make sure that it is completely loose. Do not pressure it here as you can damage the drywall and make it crumble. The easiest approach is to actually stop the tool and try to feel where you might have missed a little bit of the cut. As you feel that you are continue cutting it, touch it. A very slow touch will make it fall through, and it is okay to let it through the cavity. There is nothing here that will cause any issue, but do not try to force it here. You can actually do damage that can be very hard to fix.
Maybe right here.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, so here we are at the outlet we're gonna connect, and on the back of this, it's a little hard to see, but there's little holes here and here, so I'm going to remove the plastic sheathing from the white here and the black here, and I will put it into the coordinating holes, which is the white and the black. I'm also going to take the ground and cut that, and we're going to use a Wago to actually connect everything. So these two pieces of wire that are in this current outlet are also going to be connected here with this one, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's gonna make all the connection for everything.
Unfortunately, we cannot do it and refilm it.
Yeah, it's kind of a tight space over here in the corner, but that's what we're gonna do, and then once everything is connected, I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so what we did here was cut this one side of the ground that for some reason is looped. We cut that and we put the two ends that were cut into this piece of the Wago. Then the ground from the new wire that we're looping into this chaining off of this one, went into the middle. So this is all together with the ground. I also took the 3/4 of an inch or so of the plastic sheathing, and I have the black over here on the black, and I have the white over here on the white. And again, you can see where they plug into that back little hole.
And that's important, by the way, that you do not reverse those.
Right, you want to make sure that black is on black and white is on white. And I did go ahead and tug on them a little bit to make sure that they are secure in there.
And you can see that with traditional nuts, this will be much tighter. It will be much harder to do.
Yeah, of course, because it's a very tight space.
And now you have to push all of them back in
Okay.
gently. And so here we are. We have replaced the plate, and our receptacle is ready. We are not going to turn the power on until we finish the wiring inside on the other side, right? So we're going to go and do that while Miss Wizards continue painting. So we have brought the live power in the box, and then we moved another piece of Romex from that box
Set it up through there to there.
up. So we're going to now remove the seating and get them ready.
And I'm just hooking this one so that if I'm pulling on the bottom, it's going to hook on the wall there.
Right.
Okay.
Here we are in our last, what do you call it?
Receptacle.
No, as a receptacle. And the process is the same for all of them, so we're just showing you. Again,
Made these kind of snug, but that's good.
No, she's beaten up on it.
Well,
so these remodel receptacles make this a little easier, right?
She
Don't-
says
oh.
as she's huffing and puffing.
Huffing and puffing.
yes, I'm huffing and puffing.
Can you show them that little tool that you use to...
This one.
Yeah, this is a great little tool to break the sheathing of the cables, right?
Get off this. So it has a blade in there, as you can see, has blades on this side as well, but this one you feed over the sheathing and then it slices through there.
And it is much safer. You cannot cut
Yeah.
yourself, you know.
Yeah, better
And
than,
the other side is actually, you can use it to for the cables.
Yep, okay.
All right, so we're going to take the seating off those last two cables. This is our last run, so that will be our terminating receptacle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Elpida now has become an expert, really knowing how much needs to take to make the thing work, right?
I hope so.
I can tell you, and Elpida tell our viewers what you think, that the Wagos
Oh yeah, the
have really
Wagos.
simplified this process.
Wagos are great.
Of course, we haven't tested it yet, but details, right?
Details.
So far, they're great.
Well, they make the connections easier.
For
Now,
sure.
do we have it all done correctly, right?
Okay. So it's always a good idea to start with the neutral and pay attention to the orientation. It makes no real difference, but it should look like a smiley face when installed. It will work either way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is better to have a smiley face.
And a frowny face?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a face upside down. This is the first electrical installation that,
So, smiley face.
yeah, Elpida is doing virtually on her own, right?
Okay, so we're putting them in the bottom.
It really makes no difference, but
Okay.
the only important is brass to black and silver to white.
Right, so the black one into this.
And you feel a positive click when it is in, right?
I can't say that I have felt the click, but definitely it's in there.
Okay. And we have one more, which is the white. And then we're going to put it on the wall, and we are going to power it up and see if there is smoke and fireworks.
Nice. I'll have the fire extinguisher handy.
Okay.
And this is easier always because it's a termination, it has less wires, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to feed.
Plus I can feed some of that extra wire back through the wall, which was nice.
It wouldn't be a feature?
I think Miss Wizard will not be happy if we do that.
What are you doing here?
You want me to do it? You need to put more pressure on the back to force it.
It doesn't want me to win.
Okay, use the thing to break whatever. I've never seen it doing that.
Me either. That's why I'm like, why is it doing that? Like, this should be the real easy screw to screw in.
There are occasions that it is better to use the manual part, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell I was trying to go real easy with the power tool there. Yeah, it was just really, really tight.
That's what she said. Or that's what.
I was
that's
gonna
what
say
he
that's
said.
what he said, not she said.
Okay.
I guess she could say it, but that's usually a he thing.
Okay.
Hey now.
All right. What?
Family channel.
This is not a very expensive project. In fact, the material we bought in our local box store, specifically Lowe's, right? And the plates are, I think, 49 cents. And the plates are really nice because if you make any mistake, they hide it, right?
Right, within reason.
So you don't have to be perfect. And actually, they even make plates to hide bigger mistakes. They're
Sure.
wider, but you don't have to be perfect. That's what I'm trying to say. If you make a little mistake, the plate will hide it.
You also don't have to buy the most expensive one. This one looks very, very, very close to the one that costs $3 or $4 a piece.
Right. Actually, for the plates, it makes no difference. In general, for general use on the receptacles, I wouldn't go very expensive either, unless you want to carry a lot of amperage to them. So if you plan to put a fireplace, an electric fireplace or something that throws a lot of power, it might worth to spend a little more money.
Mm-hmm.
But this will probably power a laptop and an LED lamp. I mean, we're not going to put a lot of power through it. So we bought, I think, about 70-cent
Mm-hmm.
receptacle. It's a very low cost. In fact, the most expensive part of this was the Romex cable, which I think was $10 for 15 feet.
Yep.
You do need to use Romex cable. That's very important because this is behind the wall. You won't be able to see that if it starts chafing or getting overheated, and it will be dangerous. So do not use a normal cable. Do not go and cut a cable from a lamp and put it behind the wall. This is not intended to carry a lot of amperage and can create a fire hazard, right?
Yeah.
Use the right things and also do them in a way that will meet code. That's also important because if you ever want to sell your house, the inspector will check that you have a ground and that your connections are correct. Now, they won't be able to see the Romex, but for peace of mind, use the right cable. Do not try to cheat there. We do hope you enjoyed this episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. And if you did, we'll appreciate a thumbs up. And please let us know in the comment that these are kind of things you want to see there. This one was very detailed. We'll show you every aspect of how to do this upgrade to the house, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But usually on Wednesdays we put first looks and reviews and things of this nature. But we wanted to continue this theme we did on the weekend by showing you in detail how we did the wiring. And we hope that this weekend we're going to finish this office, right?
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you continuing supporting our channel. Thank you so much. From Dr. Wizard and Mrs. Wizard, stay safe, wash your hands, put your masks on when you're out, stay 6 feet apart, and get vaccinated. So we will continue seeing you in our next episodes. Stay safe, friends.